And welcome everybody to Encounters of the Strange Kind. Hi Lisa. Hi Michelle. Hi Lori. Good to see you guys. Oh yeah, that was a good song. As you can tell, magic comes in all forms, doesn't it? Okay. We're gonna try again tonight. Talk about runes, crystal balls, crystals, divining rods, tools of the trade, so to speak. So we're going to start off with runes. We tried this last night. Hopefully things will go well tonight. If something happens, please let me know. Because I am unaware of any changes that go on. So let me know. Say it went to a different feed or something. But there's nothing I can do about it. It just happens, and then I'd have to start over. So if it happens again, we'll just go to bed and just move on. Okay, anyway, we're talking about runes to start off with. And a rune is a mark or letter of mysterious magic significance. It's a letter from an ancient Germanic alphabet related to the Roman alphabet. And they can be stones, pieces of bone, metal, whatever, bearing the runes, the letters and signs on them that are used as divinatory symbols. So that is what a rune is. Has anybody had any dealings with runes? Anybody out there? Any of you guys had anything with runes? There's 3 levels of runes. You got the Elder Futhark. There's also the third one is the Younger Futhark, and the one in between. No, me either. And the middle one, it's the Elder Futhark, the Anglo-Saxon. Let me see, man. I'll make sure I get this right, because the Elder, the Anglo-Saxon, and the Younger. So those are the 3. Charmed. There you go. That works. And historically, they were of Norse, N-O-R-S-E, Norse descension. So, and what are runes used for, basically? It depends. Now, there's 2 ways of using them. Runes conjure up visions of the crackling fire in the middle of Viking dwelling. Ooh. And think of the Lord of the Rings, of course, right? Like there are many divination methods. Many places are credited with creating runes. The truth of the matter is they were not really used for divination way back when. They were used in charms and spells and to bless or protect houses, weapons, or ships. But other means were used for seeing the future. Rune reading as a predictive method has gained in popularity, though, and most clear in the last 40 to 50 years, when supposed metaphysics and spirituality came, and I quote, out of the carved into the forehead. Yeah, no, not a good thing. You get something carved in your forehead, you're going to be in trouble. That's what I say. Runes in use today generally come in a set of 25, 24 marked with a single rune, and 1 clean slate or blank rune. They can be of any material. They can be made of clay, stone, crystals, wood, bone, of course, metal. And you'll know if it feels good. You'll know which ones to use. That's like with tarot cards. They're based on your affinity for the artwork and design. Okay, so that marks them as yours. You'll know. You would know which one feels right, which is the correct one to use. A lot of people make their own. Of course, there's kits out there you can do as well too. When you use the runes, generally they are put in a bag And the person, yeah, I think you are. Isn't that they're marking you for something by doing that? No, the runes are carved into something, a metal or bone or stone or what else did I say? Crystals, clay. And generally, you have them in a bag, and the person asking the question or wanting to know something reaches and draws out runes at random, one at a time. And there's different methods you can use this with. Rune spreads can be simple as a 1-stone pull, a 3-stone pull, past, present, and future, or 2 people and the result of their combined energies, or as elaborate as you wish. It's like tarot. A reversed rune will have a different meaning, sometimes opposing meaning from its upright position. But the position in which the rune is placed when you put it in front of you should be taken into account. Runes, like divination and oracle decks, there's not hard and fast rules for these, other than respect your energy and your own, their energy and your own. So that's part of what the runes are. Real rune magic, and magic again is spelled M-I-G-I-C-K, not magic, M-I-G-I-C. Many of us first heard of runes in Tolkien's books, okay? Particularly The Hobbit, okay, which contains an illustration of a runic treasure map, of course used by the dwarves. And of course, the dwarf runes take a back seat to the Elvish Tengwar script for most of the story, but they do appear in a gravestone. So, and also in a pronunciation table in the index of the 3rd volume, there is it there. Tolkien's runes were in fact adapted from the Anglo-Saxon runes, which was the number 2 runes of his ancient English ancestors. So there you go. And he was very familiar with these. He was a top professor of Anglo-Saxon language at Oxford, in fact. So there you go. Some of our younger readers may know of runes through video games and RPGs on their computer, like RuneScape, Runes of War, World of Warcraft is another one. There are types of runes. There's many systems of symbols today that get called runes or runic, and few of them are actually that. Once you filter through all the pop-setting astrology BS that clogs most of the internet, you basically find that aside from rune-like symbols, there are mainly 4 widely practiced rune systems, okay? Or futharks. There you go. There's a word you can use. Excuse me. These 4 major runes of the system are the Elder Futhark, the Younger Futhark, the Anglo-Saxon Futhark, and the latest, the Ahrimanen Futhark. Simply saying usually gets the point across just fine. Okay. So there are 4 kinds. And essentially runes have been painted, carved, scratched, or implied through observation of nature for several different purposes. Casting or divination. This is serious, dead serious art. It's an art. And it's not just, a fake fortune telling, okay? 2, creating spells for various results. 3, as protective pendants or charms. 4, as incantations spoken or sung out loud. 5, as meditations for connecting with your higher realms of creation, solving problems, and strengthening your will. And 6, as an alphabet for mundane, everyday writing purposes. This was rare until the medieval times. Um, it's mostly, 1 through 5. So, and they're usually, so the way I meant that runes are carved into foreheads. I suppose if you have enough people, you could do that. I don't think so. I don't know what you're thinking. What is carved into foreheads? Michelle, any idea? No. I suppose it could be. I mean, why not? I guess I've not heard of that, but it's possible. So that's kind of a quick tutorial on runes. Yeah, I suppose they could be, Lori. I've not heard of them being carved into foreheads, but I suppose it could be. Yeah, the third eye. That's kind of a different type of thing, though. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. For protection. Yes. Yes. There's a lot of pre-Christian ideas, of course, with the runes. And each of the runes represents a smallest unit in a language. So there's a lot to it. Yeah, for protection. Sure. I don't think that's a rune, though. That's, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now, Lori, but it's not a rune. I'll have to, I will look into that. Okay. Rune magic. There's witches runes also, and that's a different. You actually cast them all out, the runes. And whatever runes come up face down, you leave those alone. Do not touch them. Do not be curious and turn them over. You will change the whole thing. And that's not a good thing. When you cast them, the witches' runes, you cast them and start with the ones closest with the symbols up and start reading them. Because sometimes you get them in a cross type thing. And if you're pulling them out of the bag, you put one in the center, you go north, west, east, and south, and start reading them from the west on around. That's how you read those, okay? Algiz, Algiz, Elhaz also, is a powerful rune. It represents the divine might of the universe. The white elk was a symbol to the Norse of divine blessing and protection. It also is the rune of higher vibrations. I wish I had like I said, visual. I could show you some of these pictures. The energy of Algiz is what makes something feel sacred. It represents the worlds of the gods, the light elves, gods of all connecting and sharing energies with our world. The symbol itself could represent the upper branches of a flower opening to receive the sun. The antlers of the elk, the Valkyrie and her wings, or the invoker. In a very contemporary way, the symbol could be powerfully equated to a satellite dish reaching toward the heavens. Okay, in the movie Willow, where the high, when these runes, yes, they were carved in bone. And he said, raise the bones before he could pound them out. Yep. Bones. I figured that one out. I believe me, I can read autocorrect. I have been typing it for a long time. So I can read it. No problem. Yes. Gosh, I haven't seen that movie in a while. Or the high no one used runes to get answers. That's what they're for. That's exactly what they're for. But each one, the ancient symbol